welcome to Gems in the Sun. My name is Eileen and I'm going to be taking you through today's project. So you should have already received your take and make bag here at the library when you registered for the program. That's going to have all of the supplies that you need to finish today's project, and you might need some help from a parent or an older sibling when it comes to bending some of the wire. So if at any point you need help with this project, make sure to stop and ask for some help from somebody in your household. So what we're going to be doing today is we are going to be making these super cool, fun sun catchers out of beads, wire, and some ribbon. So in just a minute, I'll go over what's in your take and make bag, and then we'll run through how to complete today's project. Are you ready? Let's get started. All right, so what you see here on the table is what is in your take and make bag. So you're gonna have a bag full of beads, and then you're gonna have a little bit of wire, and then we gave you two options for how to hang up your sun catcher. So there's gonna be a little bit of ribbon, and then we have some of this clear fish wire. So once you make sure you have everything in your take and make bag, let's move ahead and watch step by step how we're gonna do today's project. All right, so the first thing that I would recommend is just being very careful about it, but pouring your beads out onto a surface so that you can look at what you have. Everybody has different beads in their bag, but it's gonna be kind of a variety of different shapes, different sizes. We also have these really cool foam Earth Day beads that we gave you if you wanna include some of those. So go ahead and look over your beads. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna start by taking the wire. Now, what you'll notice is with my examples that I have here, this one here is the wire as it came in the bag. So we didn't do anything to the wire, we didn't twist it in any certain ways, it's just how it came in the bag. We did kind of we did stretch it out a little bit so that it hangs a little bit further down, but we really didn't do anything to shape the wire in a different way. Now this one, we did shape into a spiral, and that's the nice thing about the wire is that you can kind of twist it in any shape that you want. So I would recommend trying to twist your wire first and then stringing your beads on. And what you're gonna do, so once you've decided what shape you wanna do, I'm just gonna do the standard curled wire here, how it comes in the bag. And what you're gonna wanna do to start with is find one of the ends. And this wire kind of reminds me of a slinky a little bit in that it can get tangled, so just kind of be careful to find the two ends of it. Now once you've found one of the ends, what you're gonna do is you are gonna bend that wire, and this is where you might need some help from an adult or an older sibling. You're gonna go ahead and bend that wire and make a little bit of a loop because we don't want our beads to just fall right off of our wire once we start stringing them. So I'm just bending with my finger. You might find it easier to take like a pair of scissors or a pair of pliers or something like that. So I'll see if I can show you up close. So there is the kind of loop in my wire. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take one of my beads and string it on there to make sure that my loop will actually be effective in keeping the beads on there. So I'm gonna go ahead and take, let's see, I'm gonna use one that doesn't have a really big opening, and we'll see what happens once I've strung it all the way through the wire. And it does take a little bit of time to string all the beads, and as you get more and more beads on there, it'll get a little bit easier because you won't have to string them quite as far up the wire. So there we go. I've got my first bead on there, and now I'm just gonna keep adding my beads. Now, one thing that you could do is you could arrange your beads on the table in the order that you want them strung up if you want them in a specific order. I'm not too particular, so I'm just gonna go ahead and start picking whatever colors I like. So I'm gonna start with this pink one, and then we've got some different translucent pony beads. We've got these longer clear beads, so I'm gonna add one of those onto there. I've got a couple of heart beads, those look fun. And we tried to give you a lot of see-through beads so that the sun, when it hits your sun catcher, it'll actually kind of shine through. Might even give you some rainbows. All right, so my wire got a little bit tangled here. I'm gonna fix that. Okay. Again, keeping your wire untangled is probably gonna be the most challenging part of this. But you might even be a better crafter than I am and not have any trouble. So, okay. So I've got a good amount of beads strung on there. And again, I'm just gonna keep going until I have the entire wire covered in beads. Ooh, there's a little like cute flower one. I'm gonna add that on there. I've got a couple of these ones that look almost like a triangle. We've got some smaller pony beads, so I'm gonna add those on there. I've got some more of those longer clear ones. Those are pretty neat. I like the different shaped ones for sure. So just take your time in this part of it. This is where all the fun and creativity come into play, because you can make your bead, you can string your beads in whatever order, and you can pick whatever shape you want to make your sun catcher with the wire. My end keeps getting a little bit tangled there. All right. So I've got one of the full circles done. So I'm feeling pretty good about it so far. I'm gonna keep on going though. Got some more of these longer ones. So I put about, I don't know, 8 or 10 beads, and then I kind of push them down to see how much more I have to add. So it looks like I have about a circle and a half still to do. So I'm about halfway there. Now, what have you decided to do? Are you doing a pattern? Are you picking only your favorite colors? Are you using only one style of the beads? Are you using these fun foam shapes? Maybe you didn't even get any foam shapes in your bead set. There's also some that have like different sports beads. So we've got all different kinds of beads that you could have possibly gotten from us. All right, I've got another flower one. Ooh, there's another heart. I really like the heart ones. And the flowers, actually. I like both of them. So here we go. All right, I'm almost there. Got a little bit left to go. And you want to have enough of your wire left on the end so that you can bend that end as well. Because just like on the other side, once we get done stringing our beads, we don't want to risk having them fall off in any way. All right, I have just a few more left. I am loving the way that this looks though. You could also do this project and make it as a gift for someone. That would be kind of fun. If you have any friends who have birthdays coming up or family members. So a lot of our art projects are things that you could make as a gift for somebody. I know I'm somebody that I love to make things by hand and give them as gifts. I think it makes it a little extra special. Okay, so I have my beads strung on. So there is my sun catcher. And then what I'm gonna do is, again, I'm just gonna bend that wire, and I'm just using my fingers, but I would highly recommend using a pair of pliers or a pair of scissors or something else to help you bend around. All right, so now you can see I have all my beads strung on there. I have both of my ends bent so that none of my beads are coming off no matter how I hold it. And I've got a few extra beads, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put those back in my bag here. And the last step is deciding, do you want to hang your sun catcher up with fish line or do you want to use ribbon? And I like the ribbon that I got, so I'm gonna go ahead and tie. I'm gonna pick which end is the top, and that's where you're gonna wanna tie it. So I'm gonna go ahead and just thread it through that wire loop that I made, and then I'm gonna tie a couple of knots. And again, if you need some help with this part, because tying knots, tiny little knots around some wire is kind of difficult. So if you need some help, ask an adult or maybe an older sibling. But we want to make sure that that stays on there. So I've done 2 knots, and now my sun catcher is ready to hang up in a window. So there we go. All right, I hope you have fun finishing your project today. Thank you all so much for joining me today for Gems in the Sun. I hope you had all sorts of fun putting together your sun catchers and wiring your beads on the metal wire. I would love to see any videos or pictures of you completing the project or your finished project hanging up in a window with the sun hitting it, super nice and pretty. So send those to the email address on the screen below. And if you have any other questions for us, please feel free to reach out to us here at the library. And we'll see you all again next month for another Middles art project. Bye for now.